Hey there, it's iRun here, and we are on Farming Simulator 15, but we are here to talk about Farming Simulator 17 that was just announced at E3. And I'm going to have Duffy joining me in just a second, and we're going to talk about what he also learned by watching some of their streams. So I did a little bit of research after you had contacted me on Friday and told me about what you had seen at E3 and around Farming Simulator 17, and thought we'd just come on here and hop and share with the viewers, and appreciate you hopping on with me. For those of you who don't know, this is Duffy. He's been on a few of my videos and played with us some. I know with Farming Simulator 17, I've heard a few things, which I'll share here, and then you kind of fill in the gaps. I know that they're going to add female characters for female farmers. They're going to allow mods, so people can build custom stuff, I guess, and add it to the game just like they do on the PC. And we're talking about for the console right now for PS4 and for Xbox One because it's already been available for custom mods and free mods on the PC. And the only other thing that I'm aware of right now, I think, is that you can change the actual colors of a truck here. Like if I didn't want this New Holland to be yellow, I could make it red, which you can do in Farming Simulator 15 right now for the truck, the car or whatever that you drive around, but you can't do it for the trucks. And then lastly, and I'm hoping you can confirm this because I read about it and it just seemed a little bit bizarre, but you know how we can like on this map we can put the logs into the train and then send the train off for more money. I heard something about you're supposed to be able to drive the trains, and that you would have to actually physically drive the train to and offload it at the next place to get the money. So anyway, fill in the blanks. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had not heard that about the train, and I hadn't heard that about the customization of having a guy and a girl. That's very cool. What I've heard now, the release date is set for October 17th. Now, if you
Okay.
go to the website of Giants, that's for PC and Mac only. If you look at the PlayStation one and the Xbox One, it doesn't have a date set for that one, but they're going to be around the same time.
So that'll be interesting. You know that when Farming Simulator 15 came out, the PC version came out in around October, November, and then but then the console versions didn't come out until May of the following year. So I guess we'll see if that holds true this time or if they'll release them all at the same time.
I'm thinking within a month of each other because they did say on their press release it will be at the end of the year. So we won't have to wait until the following May like with 15.
Okay, that's
The
awesome.
other thing that they're going to have is new environments. And I wanted to ask you what you thought of that because now is an environment weather or is that like where you live, like a desert or like a forest environment? How do you think that plays out?
I'm not totally sure. So the other thing that I read, and I'll have the links to all this in below. I'll link up the one that I read too that had some of the information. I heard also that they're adding a new map for Washington State in the U.S. So there's going to be more American maps because this was originally, developed by a company that was over in Europe. And I also heard I don't know if you've seen this before. I think in Minecraft, if you plant daisies now or something, they the daisy that will turn with the sun, and that they're supposed to have daisies in the game now. And when you plant them, they'll actually rotate with the sun. Well, as they said, they were adding soybeans as a crop. So because America, we have soybeans, and that was one of the most requested ones.
We're
Soybeans.
talking about the crops and like the soybeans. I haven't read anything on that. That's not too surprising that they'll expand upon that.
Yeah,
Did you see the trailer that came out of E3? About the trailer, you got to remember it was all CGI, so it looked awesome, like the dust flying up. I expect the game to look better, but probably not that good.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll probably put a link to that trailer down in the description below to Focus Interactive. Yeah, so I mean, it seems like they're adding a lot more. And you were telling me the other day via message that some company that something about milking cows and them adding new.
And that's very
steps to
exciting.
that.
That is very exciting stuff. And the link is there too. The Lily, I believe it's pronounced Lily. It's Lely. It's a European company, and
Okay.
it's on their website. That's why I included that link. Is because the Lily equipment, they listed a bunch of their equipment. They do tractors. I think I'm not sure they do tractors, but they do mowing, they do baling, they do wagons, but they do milking equipment, and in their article they listed a bunch of their equipment. But at the very end of that list was it's called the, I have it written down here. Let me take a look at it. It's called the Lily Astronaut A4 Milking Robot.
Huh.
And then they also said the Lily Luna cow brush. And I looked this cow brush up online. It kind of looks like when you go through the car wash, you have those brushes that clean you off on the side of your car.
Oh
That's
yeah.
kind of what it looks like. And the cow walks up next to it, and it cleans the cow off. So those two are going to be in, according to Lily's website and their news release. They put that out about February of this year. They
Uh-huh.
will be in the game. That milking machine, that cow brush, some of their collection wagons, and another product that Lily makes that's really cool. It's a round baler, but it's a continuous round baler. So you don't stop the tractor. It just shoots the round bale out and starts making another.
So yeah, so it seems like they're adding some stuff that makes us actually be more interactive with it. So, for example, if we actually have to drive the trains, then there's no more just pushing a button and let it go. I'm waiting to see if that's actually true or not. I'd like to find out if that's the case. And like some of these features like this, while they're kind of cool, I'm wondering how much we'll have to do. Like one of the things that kind of always frustrated me is like when you go to like just mow grass. Why can't you just have it hire a worker and let
So I
them mow
did
the
read
grass?
an article. I don't have a link to it, but I did read this probably a couple miles or months back, not miles. And they're going to go that route, so that's more of an option. So if you want to be a less hands-on farmer, that's something that's definitely perceived. Now that may be just a rumor that's going to be in there. So if you want to have that option to just hire a bunch of people to do it, you can do it. But if you don't, then you do everything yourself.
Yeah, I think the key is, so like on the PC, I believe they can have up to like 15 players on a server, and you can have the server on at all times. So, but in here, like when we've played, I have to be on. If I'm not on, then we can't play, and we're limited by 6 people. So, if you're playing by yourself in career mode and you're trying to do everything to make sure your crops don't wither, sometimes it's just nice to be able to say, hey, I need you to go do. So you're kind of like a foreman, if you will, and saying, you go do this, you go do this, you go do this. Otherwise, there's no way you could get it all done without losing crops or, being successful.
And then the animal breeding. Have you read anything about that?
No,
So they're going to
uh,
add a new animal,
okay.
and they and now this is right off of Giant's website. They said specifically breeding a new animal in the breed, not a new breed of animal, but new animal to breed was a quote. So that leads me to think that there's going to be a lot more interaction with the animals because right now you don't breed them. You don't have you know, uh, herd of cattle and start with 50, and then after a month you have
Ah,
75.
yeah, so that
So I
sounds
think you're
more
going to
like
be able
Minecraft.
to sell them. Yeah, I think you're going to be able to sell your cows now. Load
Cool.
them on a truck and sell them.
So, did they say what the new animal would be? I mean, I wonder if it'd be a
They
pig or
did
something.
not. They did not. And there's a lot of speculation going around about that. Yeah, I'm assuming pig, but yeah, I mean, I've seen everybody saying llamas to
Llamas.
exotic animals. So
How,
yeah,
how many
so
llamas have you seen
most
on a
likely.
farm?
Well, supposedly that's a new trend, that llama farming for milk, or I don't know what they get out of
Ah,
llamas other than their fur.
okay.
40 brands in 15. 17 is going to have a minimum of 60 brands right at launch, 200 pieces of equipment and vehicles in your garage are available to buy anyway. So just go over my notes. So we've covered the trailer. We kind of covered the environments. I think the vehicles we've covered, the breeding. I was going to go over the gameplay mechanics and then I was going to dive a little bit more into the mods and read a quote from the game, because that's going to be a huge thing, because mods right now are going to let you have different, like, your name brands in there, your John Deere's, your Fords, and that should be all free too. That's something you're not going to pay for. Talking about the mods,
Hmm.
um, I want to read this quick little quote for you, because
Okay.
like I just said, I think that's going to be really valuable, makes this game stand out against all the air simulators, especially being on console. I mean, PC people are used to that; it's not a big deal to them. But us PlayStation and Xbox people, it's going to change the games a little bit. And here's what they say: all players will be able to download content created by a passionate community of farming simulator players, including vehicles, animals, scenery, elements, and much more, opening up the possibility of an ever-evolving farm simulator experience. And that's right off of Giant's website, and I totally agree. It's really going to make this game explode and add hours of fun. The mods they make look amazing. I mean, some of the videos I've watched is the creativity and how detailed they get. These player created stuff is. Now, to look at the gameplay mechanics, they're going to increase the graphic, the richness and depth. So I
Hmm.
think you're going to see more of the dust, the dirt, more of the detail in the plants and the flowers. And I really hope they do more of a tutorial,
Hmm.
because the tutorial just wasn't very good. I mean, it took a while to grasp. I really relied on videos like that you made to teach me how to play the game, to get the button layout, because there just wasn't a whole lot of help there.
Yeah, that's one of the things I found. Like when I wanted to first start logging, even so, I first started on the PC version, and there was no logging tutorial. And then on the Farming Simulator version on the PS4, there was a tutorial, but um, it wasn't very helpful to me. I mean, kind of get started, but then I got around Boo Man and them, and they're like, "No, this is how you do it." And I mean, it's like, oh, it's a lot easier if you don't do it the way that's in the tutorial.
Exactly. That's a side note too. It's not going to be on the older consoles like PlayStation 3. It's not going to be on the older Xbox. It's only going to be Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Yeah, that's a good point because that's also one of the questions I have all the time. Because multiplayer, you cannot play multiplayer on the Xbox 360 or the PS3, and I assume that that's going to continue with this version because, quite frankly, you're a little bit limited by the hardware and stuff with those systems. All right, well, Duffy, thanks for hopping on with me, man. I'm gonna release these out, and then we'll see if you guys are watching right now and you have any questions. Let me know. Me and Duffy will be happy to answer them. And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and let me know if you're going to be playing Farming Simulator 17 when it gets out. So until next time, this is iRun, and we will see you